boys and girls, and welcome back to part 3 of 2026 Black Ice Germany playthrough. I will suppose you have watched the first and second part of this series, which deals with the previous, so I won't repeat myself too much. I will try to go over the situation right before the invasion of Russia as Germany. I'm playing in normal settings and I'm using historical units, nothing else special, I believe. The last part, end of 1940, I did not report on the Navy. It is quite easy to do because I have just played with the very basic submarine gameplay style, meaning that I have the starter navy with the 2 battleships. I use 28 centimeter guns on them. Makes them a little bit cheaper and faster because I don't plan on doing any heavy naval engagement. And as you can see, I built a few of the starting destroyers. I have a mine-laying force, and I mine the coasts for defensive purposes around the Baltic and North Sea. And that's my surface navy. Then I have a training fleet. If I don't feel lazy, I deploy my production directly into this training flotilla. And the green color indicates that they're green, they're new. And, alright, forget this right. You want to be training them, and I think I am, in the North Sea, at least the large submarines, because this is a deep sea. No, this is shallow sea. Okay, but if you go into the southern Baltic, that is fjords and archipelagos. So I guess I should be training my coastal submarines in the southern Baltic Sea and your larger ocean-going submarines in the North Sea. I guess I have not been doing that because I'm a bad boy. Alright, I'll do that later. And then we should... then I have a Mediterranean or coastal sub fleet here. And I use my best commander, Dönitz, and I use them to harass the British in the Mediterranean. I wish there was a way you could see how many losses they have inflicted. But since I have 25 coastal submarines, usually the starter class 1 and class 2 type coastal submarines, they get sunk. I've had very few submarine losses in the Mediterranean, and even fewer out in the Atlantic. So I'm up to 25. I built a few, but not that many. And then I have 3 ocean-going submarine fleets. I guess these guys are in the north, in the south. These are in the south. These are in the center. And then I have one white for the ice northern. So I cover 15 zones. Some of them overlap. But more okay, and there's around 70, 80 of them. Okay, so I guess we can just do it the easy way here. Here's losses. So I killed... I killed 1,700 convoys for the Brits. I don't know how many they have. No, so cheers, some morning coffee here. They should still have some convoys left. But anyway, I'm killing a lot, and I don't lose a lot of submarines. And I have 202 ships. That doesn't say how many submarines I have. So okay, here, of course. I have 110 large submarines, and I have 26 coastal submarines. That's what's interesting. And I just recently started to produce the advanced submarine. That would be the Type 9 with the Class 4 advanced submarine hull. So now you're down to 15 visibility with almost 6,000 kilometers of range. So I can raid better in the southern Atlantic and along the American seaboard. So 110 submarines, 1,700 sunk convoys. That would be a good summary. and a 25 in the Mediterranean. So naval war for Germany is going about as expected, actually a little bit better than it usually does considering losses, because I don't know, I think they nerfed something. As you can see, the British convoys, they're only around the African coast. I should probably direct more naval flotillas, remove them from the mid-Atlantic where there are no losses at all. But I honestly am a bit too lazy to fiddle too much with the naval warfare, because usually I find that these submarines, they will eventually deplete the UK AI's convoys. Convoys losses will go down, and I interpret that. Sometimes I increase the difficulty, sometimes I jump into the UK AI and cheat and give them free convoys, because I don't want to cheese the game by building 100% submarines, because if you can do that, the game is maybe not, or the mod is not, maybe not that balanced, and I don't want to win that way. But anyways, I mean, I'm fine with kind of starving them and sinking a shit ton of convoys, because Britain is doing, AI is doing well. Let's leave the naval things for now. Ask any questions in the comments, I'll try to answer them. They took up Ethiopia very rapidly. They've been sinking the Italian Navy like it's going out of style. I never seen them lose 3 battleships already, mid 1941. So if we check the Navy, there's only 40, now 36 Italian ships left and 1 battleship. So 3 battleships have been sunk. So that means basically the Mediterranean is emptied of Italian navies. I don't know how long I'm gonna be able to. I guess as long as I have 700 convoys, I will be able to supply German forces in Italy. But I have not been able to threaten or invade Malta, and not Crete either, because I've seen 5 or 6 different types of divisions here, much more. Now, for some reason, we'll come to that later, there's only 2 divisions here. And unfortunately, I pulled away my Marines from Syracuse here, ready to invade up to the Baltic Sea to threaten invasions on the Baltic Sea against Russia now instead. So I'm not doing well naval-wise with the Italian Navy. I have not grabbed the islands, and also they're still in control of El Alamein. Since end of 1940, the last stream I did report, I did push out my panzer divisions and encircled quite a few divisions and eliminated them. I don't know, maybe 4 or 5. Let's check the British losses here. That should give you an indication. I think it was around 750,000, and it's now up to 1 million. So they suffered 250,000 losses in half a year. That's fine. That's good. But once I reached El Alamein, of course I ran out of supply and org, and it takes forever, and there's sandstorms, and he had, I don't know, 15 divisions at least in El Alamein. They don't have a lot of forts here, but it's just, I wasn't able to push through. And I have not been risking an invasion here. I kind of don't save scum when I play. I don't play Iron Man, but I kind of don't save scum. So if I send invading troops and they get caught by 10 British battleships, they're gone. And I feel I rather need those divisions in Russia than cheating here. And as you know, spring 1941, Iraq pops up. So I have a little bit of a distraction. You can see there are some UK divisions in this area. So is that gonna help me make one last final push? Let's see here. I can only see 5 divisions here, and this is probably a good time to pull away my 6 panzer divisions in Africa. Now the orange ones are upgraded with desert equipment, and I haven't produced enough to. And from the last episode, you'll know that I'm only using French light tanks that I'm wasting in the desert. So I'd say UK is doing fine land and naval-wise in the Mediterranean, quite a lot better. I usually grab Egypt, but a little bit later, usually after taking Caucasus and invading Persia, Iran from the north. So we'll see what happens. I don't worry about it too much. Okay, did we take out Yugoslavia and Greece? Probably Greece was probably taken, but Yugoslavia is very easy to take. If you're new, the way to declare war on Yugoslavia is the 1st of March 1941. There pops up a Operation 25 or 26 something, and you press it. I was 2-3 weeks late. What's this? Military parade in Belgrade. But since I wasn't ready to invade Russia anyways, I had time to deploy my forces to the Russian border instead. So, and I always play entirely historical with Greece and setting up Croatia. I find Croatia a bit of a useful little puppet miner. Let's see, they have 35k in their army, and they actually have 100,000 manpower that I can feed them Lend-Lease, and they will build up. Are they good divisions? No, they're not. They're horrible divisions. Check out their template. And I know you can create mixed divisions with your own good German template, and you'll get to use a little bit of Croatian manpower inside them, but that costs a lot of army experience to set up. And those divisions don't get that good, because I think you have to start out with this template, which is horrible. Just gonna check that out. So really, for me, there's no good way to kind of like, you don't want to work with this. You don't want to start out building up this division. Maybe later in the war. Okay, so this one isn't too bad. Maybe I could, do something with this. But isn't it like you only get 5% or so Croatian manpower into your German divisions? And for setting up these templates, for me, it's just not worth it unless I misunderstand something. And I just prefer for now to have them. They will guard the coastline. Italy doesn't garrison Greece. I don't know why. So I guess Croatia will do that. All right. And Athens. Maybe we can waste them invading Crete and Malta. Yeah, that's probably a good thing. Just keep them as a secondary. Or I can use them, if I get a lot of the troops, I can use them as garrisons on the Eastern Front. I don't like to fight with them, really, because they're so bad. I was thinking like, ooh, I should send some World War I captured equipment to Iraq. They can use their manpower. Slow down the Brits. Don't do that. That was a stupid idea, because excuse me. Oh. Wait, what? When I open up Iraq, when they were created, they had... Oh, I haven't unpaused the game. Anyway, they had thousands of equipment. Oh my god. Excuse me. They had thousands of equipment, but they were at 0 manpower. So a puppet, they had some scripted divisions, 35,000 manpower. Okay, 29,000, 30,000 army that was created, 5 divisions. But they don't have any manpower to draw on. So there's no point in sending equipment to Iraq. I actually asked them to send basic mountaineer, because they're not using it, so they agreed to give it to me. That's not a lot. And also, I didn't get a pop-up asking me if you want to receive. Have they changed that? I don't know. So don't send... it doesn't seem like I'm gonna be able to save Iraq this playthrough. I'm not sending them any. Okay, so that's Egypt, Mediterranean, Navy, Iraq, air war. Okay, this is sad. When I reported 6 months ago, I have 80 factories on air production and 69 on tanks. And of course, most of it is on fighters. So I have 60 factories on F4 Messerschmitt 109s. But I have not increased in fighter numbers at all. I'm still at 2,000 fighters. But I have increased my overall Luftwaffe strength up to 4.4k fighters. So I have a lot more bombers and naval bombers, etc. Support aircraft. And why is that? That's because I have this playthrough, I have been fighting the Brits in the desert, and since he can deploy over 2,000 airplanes here, now I've pulled them away to Poland to prepare for Barbarossa. But I've been fighting here, and if you see the details, we lost, Italy and I lost almost 1,000 fighters. Okay, yeah, we killed like 1,500 airplane. So 1 to 1.5 loss ratios. That's okay, but these are fighters dying that won't fight in Russia. And to be honest, I don't know how the production system works. I think I'm gonna ask around, Google it, because I don't know if the Brits if they have to produce and build these fighters, or if they're actually just created out of scripting Black Ice magic. So this is the reason I have a low fighter force. And I've been fighting over Malta as well, and as you can see here, well, Italy lost bombers, but say 300 airplanes lost to 600. And these are mostly Italian, the bombers. So here I've had a much better loss ratio around Malta. I guess that's because they can only fly from Malta, whereas we have these huge air bases in Pantelleria of 600 and 400 on Sicily. I've not built up these air bases. I have built up Tobruk to 1,000. That is basically the only infrastructure improvement I've done in the Mediterranean, because you can't do everything in Black Ice. You just can't afford it. So anyways, air-wise, I've been grinding down the Royal Air Force. Is that a good policy? Honestly, I don't know. Okay, we don't need... I guess I still have some air missions over over Yugoslavia still. I should probably send these guys out to the front here. Okay. Yeah. Oh. And out of these 2,000 fighters, 450 of them are training and recently deployed. Okay. I guess... Okay, I can start up a couple of more. I can train 250 more of my fighters here. But I have to say, I'm not very strong fighter-wise in the air. Yeah, as you can see, I'm patrolling and mining with flying boats. These far... am I sinking? I guess... Let's check out here. Nope. Submarines. Nope, submarines. I don't even know if these flying boats... they have very long range, over 2,000. I don't know if they're doing anything, but I like it for historical flavor. Okay, so that's the air war, land warfare. That's probably it. Okay. I do have manpower now. I have almost 500,000, or 500,000 in training, and 2.5 million in the field. So I'm at 3 million used manpower, and I still have 200,000 losses. So what did I do to create magically new recruits? Right, I think I discussed this in the previous part, that I went up to the 1835 bracket, but now I really don't want to go up to the 1840. So now we're talking encourage women, 3-year draft. What else can you do to gain magically new manpower? I still have these housing improvements that gives me 0.10 recruitable population. I wonder how much that is. Maybe 100k, almost 100k recruits. And there's another one of them. And there's a third one coming up in soon. Oh, and that's 0.20. So I have 0.40. How many? What would that be? I don't know. 400,000, 350,000 maybe. So, and you can also build the recruitment centers. I am actually building 2.5 recruitment centers now in the most populous provinces. What you do is you go to this little arrow down here, pop it up, sort on population, and you can see the darker purple ones here. You can hover over and you see the population numbers. So Rhineland 6.5 million, Sachsen 6 million, and Westfalen 5.5 million. These are the provinces you want to start to get 10% more population there. So I'll keep building recruitment centers. And I do have, I'm not saying this is the right thing to do, but I have the, what's his face? Ricard Daré. Ricard, I don't know. He gives 5% recruitable population factor. And I don't have any ministers that decrease population. Obviously, the xenophobe is great with his weekly stability, but you lose monthly population 25%. Since I gain 4,500 each month, if I lose 25% out of that, that would be like 1,000 per week. Is that per month? Wait, it's per month, right? So I guess he only gives like 20,000 manpower per year. Is that it? Oh, you lose maybe 20,000 per year. Not a lot. Anyways, and the other minister I have is research, 2% or something. And I have been doing sacrificing research on nuclear technology. Can Germany afford it? Not really. But it should give me 2 and soon 3%. So actually I'm 31% research speed. Compared to your own campaign, and tell me what you got, this should be more than, if you focus nothing on it, should be around 25-26% by now. So I guess I'm doing, what I'm sacrificing early war for atomic nuclear research, I benefit later in the war, during the war in Russia, because now when the important techs are going to be researched, I am faster at getting them. I'm a bit slower up to here. So I guess I like to play long term and reap the benefits. A little bit more civilian factories. Anyways, I'm at 945 factories. Compared to your own pre-Barbarossa setup. Alright, army-wise, okay, here's some good news, finally. I have a lot of tanks. I have 3.8 thousand light tanks and 1.2 medium. And I am training, I think, 4 tank division. That's another 800. So I'm way over 5,000 tanks. So that's something, right? So even if I'm weaker in the air, I am hoping... And I have a 2.5 million army. And I guess why I have many tanks is because I really don't have a lot of mech. I'm only going to use mech in my headquarters battalions. It was going to be a very long time before I create any mechanized infantry battalions, line battalions, because I just can't afford it. I did it, and I had a lot of factories on mech and other playthrough. I guess I'm a bit flexible with it. Yeah, maybe not go through. I have new tanks in the production line. I have the F version with the long barrel 50mm. And I have around 37 factories on that. And I am producing 20 factories of the F. It is a good light tank. It's probably a mistake. Especially now when I already have so many light tanks. Because they're going to be obsolete sooner or later. But I guess I'm planning on transferring this production line to like the next medium tank or something useful. Starting to produce a little bit of Stags, Flak Panzers. I'm upgrading to the Flak Panzer 1s. Starting to introduce... I should have built more armored recovery vehicles because I don't have it on all my divisions in Russia. Yeah, so maybe I should remove a couple of... Decisions. I don't have a spreadsheet with exactly what I need, and I play the same way every time. So let me know what you think about these 69 factories of tank production. That should be more, I realize. Yeah, I'm doing so-so with my production. And as for setup, this is just horrible. I just sent them up to the border, and they're just building up. I am using the field marshal trick where you set the garrison order in Switzerland for your armies, and the field marshals get an attack order into Russia, and then all your armies is gonna build up preparation attack bonus without you having individual orders on them. Very handy. Just Google that and use it if you're not, because otherwise the micromanagement of using the planning operation UI is horrible. Actually, I almost didn't want to play Hearts of Iron 4 because of how broken the plan preparation UI is. But since I started using this trick, the game is so much more enjoyable for me. So I have a little bit of a new feature for the Russian front, is that I've set up an army group or whatever with tanks, etc. around here in the bend of Romania, and I'm gonna use it to push towards Kiev and then circle into Odessa. Because I mean, it's a few provinces fewer than going from southern Poland. But I don't have. Okay, yeah, I have some. I have a mechanized corps here as well, and then my elite tanks are actually up here in the north. I usually avoid having a lot of tanks because of the terrain up here, but I felt in my last playthroughs that I haven't been pushing hard and fast enough in the north. So I guess I'm gonna use Guderian and the starting elite panzer divisions. And as you can see here, my best panzer division, what will be upgraded to eventually, is 5 tanks, 4 motorized, mechanized logistics, mechanized maintenance, light tank recon, and later on I will have mechanized headquarters. I don't think I've researched that yet. And I'm using artillery spotters. It gives me a couple of more percent of soft attack, 250 soft attack, and 275 breakthrough. I'm not a pro when it comes to creating templates for panzer divisions, and I have a question. Is it really that important? Would it make a world of difference if I had one more motorized infantry and one less tanks, or the other way around, yada yada? Like, fighting Russia in 1941, does it really matter that you maximize every single stat, blah, blah, and the tanks must be this good? Maybe long term. I mean, why not I micromanage as much as I can, sure. So by building more light tanks in 1941, I'm gonna have more mobile divisions than I would have had if I've only built the best medium tanks ever. Is that the right thing to do long term, short term? We'll see. I have more tanks than I usually have, so I'm pretty confident I'm gonna kick Russia pretty hard in the nether region. Yes, and I do have quite a bunch of these small light divisions. Well, they're actually brigades. Let me check. I think I showed them. I'm pretty happy with this. Okay, so there's only. Oh fuck! They're semi-motorized infantry. Oh. Okay, my bad. I have 11 of these suckers. Oh, I thought they were motorized. Okay, so anyways, they're faster than regular infantry. Oh fuck. I completely missed that. What about the... Okay, it's because I developed them from the 4th light, and it has semi. I should have probably used this template instead. Alright, because they're 8.5, so they're a lot faster. Okay, so maybe that's a little bit of a mistake, but I do have 11 of these cavalry speed fast. You know, they're almost as powerful as a regular infantry division, right? So I'm gonna use these to exploit and capture provinces that the infantry can't catch up to. I wonder what their supply imprint is compared to, let's say, an infantry division. Where do I even see that? Supply use 2.1. Yeah, I think that's about as much as an infantry division. 2.5. So they're smaller, they're faster than infantry, and they have less supply use. Okay, I'm yapping around here too much. So, and I pulled up my Marines, and I have another small corps here that I'm planning to send to Tallinn. Why don't I go into Leningrad at once with the surprise attack? I don't know, because I'm stupid. I should do that. I like to play historical. It would be so unrealistic for Germany to be able to land 4 divisions of Marines in Leningrad day 1 of Barbarossa. That's just exploiting the AI and the stupidity of this game. So I'm not gonna do that. But as I said, my aim is Leningrad, Moscow, and pushing to Rostov, and then grab the oil in Baku. That's my 1941 invasion of Russia goal. Anything else I want to yap around about? I don't know. I can't remember. Oh, I have full oil. Would you look at that? So I haven't built any silos, of course. I have other stuff to build. I have pretty bad stability. I wish I could waste a bit of research to do those medicine things that gives you a permanent +10 stability bonus. I'm still in need of political power for medals on divisions, and also sooner or later, especially after Baku, I want to go up from lack of fuel, civilian fuel 3 to extra civilian fuel. But for that, I need 50% more civilian fuel consumption factor. So I really need to be ready for this. Then I get plus 0.20 stability gain, and I need 300 PP to do that. So that is one of the reasons why I'm kind of overcompensating on fuel, because I like that. And I used to do that in 1936, and I managed my fuel. It was low. I have to say that instead of full, I usually ran way below, because I didn't want to feed Russia all those civilian factories for importing. I've been doing that this game playthrough. I'm just, I need fuel. Anyways, that is it. What else do I want to do? I would like to go up on industrial tariffs. It gives you 4%. No, sorry. It gives you 5% factory output and a 4% military factory construction speed bonus for only -10. 0.1% stability loss. So it's one of the cheapest improvements of production. It doesn't have a lot of 2% consumer goods factories. I really don't care about that much. So it gives you quite a good production bonus for only a slight stability hit. So that's so as you can see, I need a lot of political power still. If you have any questions, probably have a save laying around for a while here. I could go back and check out. I really, there's not much to say. I know a lot of people struggle with the Russian winter, and I have nice stockpiles. Even though I've given Italy a lot of World War I vintage, I have a lot of German high quality, high durability, high reliability items laying around for the winter. Oh yeah, I wanted to check something. So let's check my North African theater here, which is high priority, so good equipment goes here. But they've been fighting not non-stop at all, because I pull them back to high supply areas, and then I pull them up to the front and fight and encircle, kill some British, pull them back again. But let's see equipment here. And let's go to the light tanks. These are very bad French tanks. Wait. Where are they? Okay. So as you can see, I lost 300 tanks in combat and 150 by attrition. Okay, that makes sense, right? is that 50% of the losses in North Africa. Oh yeah, okay, detail list. Okay, I'll show you. I'm not in these menus. As you can see here, they're only French tanks that's been lost and British. So who cares? No German tanks. Okay, so what did I want to say? Like, yeah, durability, reliability is important for tanks. For me, it is my prime stat that I like to increase. Now, you probably will suffer a bit less losses even in Russia during winter, because the North African campaign is just brutal when it comes to supplies and terrain and sandstorms. Right, so, but I have been using high reliability rifles. This M38 version has improved, and as you can see, I have a lot less ratio of attrition losses. I mean, you lose what you lose in combat, right? Nothing you can do about that. And what else have I improved? I guess I haven't improved support equipment. Here's again, you have 50%. The field uniforms, they have more than 50% attrition losses in the desert. But light vehicles, I'm pretty sure they are improved, if nothing else, by MEOs, by the designer. And here, look at the transport trucks. Look how few I'm losing to attrition in North Africa, because I have increased the reliability. Did I improve the recon? No, probably not. Infantry guns, very few losses. See again, mountain artillery, I maxed out the mountain artillery. I basically lose very little from attrition. Okay, so I don't know what I'm talking about here. I'm investing army experience and designers into reliability. And why does that matter? Well, it is good in Russia. Even though it's not the best equipment, it lasts me a bit longer. I will lose what I will lose in combat. There's nothing you can do about that, really. But you can work on your attrition losses. Oh, yeah. See, my food is only 11%, and why is that? It is not because I went up to extra diet here. Because it was really bad before that. I just think they lowered the starting amount or something, or consumption. So that's, I mean, it was quite recently that I invested 420 PP into this. So that explains my priorities a little bit more. How long is 200k manpower gonna last me? Half a year, I think. Maybe a bit longer, winter. I mean, I'm probably gonna want to build up a few more divisions from this stockpile. All right, I'm actually, it's gonna be fun to attack Russia for once. It's usually, I'm kind of like almost feeling like I want to stop playing right now, because it's just so overwhelming in Russia, the amount of micromanagement you do. But for once, I kind of feel like, no, I know what I'm doing. I know what I want to achieve. I know what I can achieve. I played maybe a dozen campaigns in Russia by now in Black Ice, different versions over a very long period of time. But I kind of know what to expect. And I did improve my railway situation a bit, especially in the south. So I don't think I'm going to suffer that much from supplies. So I feel better prepared this time around. And I was considering to streaming a bit of gameplay in my initial Russian invasion. But there are other streamers that you can watch play gameplay live. I feel like what I'm doing, a snapshot of the overview, is, you get many hours of gameplay by just watching this fairly short after action report overview snapshot video that I'm producing. So it would be nice. I don't have a lot of viewers, but it would be nice if you would consider putting a comment, so I get some feedback on how you like this this way of making Black Ice content. I like it myself, but who knows. All right, thanks for watching. Please help and support the mod, if nothing else, by liking and subscribing, etc. You know the drill. Okay, I'll see you in the next one.